Well, after our incredible professional bout, the big fights just keep coming. This, the raised amateur welterweight title. And to say this is a needle match, Gary, is an understatement. This is one of the big fights everyone's been waiting for tonight.
This has been building up over the last year. I mean, Keiren and Craig were due to fight on the last Raid show. Keiren dropped out due to injury. Craig took the opportunity that evening after a stepping opponent to call Craig out. So this has been a fight bubbling for some time. Keiren also beat Craig's teammate, Tom Enstone. So there's some serious heat between the Dogs of War gym and the SVT gym in Swindon. So this is going to be huge.
And then on top of that as well, there's just a little thing of a title belt.
Yeah, and well deserved. I mean, there's a lot of events that throw titles out willy-nilly, but I mean, these are two well-deserved guys who've earned the opportunity to fight for a legitimate title, and it'd be great to see where their careers end up.
So Keiren Bennett is in the cage. He's ready for the title bout. Well, you can listen to the crowd's response as the SVT fighter makes his way to the cage, Craig Rawlins. And we said about the needle, the hype, the pump up, all the build up to this. One of my things that I'm thinking about that can make this so exciting is how will Craig react? Because there's being pumped up and then there's being over anxious or too keen to get the job done.
Craig's grown from strength to strength. All the fights I've seen him on Raged, he comes out cool, calm and collected, and he's undefeated in Swindon. So I've got to say, he's got the crowd on him, he's got the records. I think Keiren must be feeling a little bit of nerves at the moment.
As you said that, you can see from his body language and the way he comes in that Craig, the talk is over. He hasn't allowed it to get to him. As you said, cool, calm and focused here with the belt and reputation at stake. And Gary, as I said, with this title at stake as well, do you see it very short period of time that maybe we see Craig start to join the professional ranks?
Yeah, something we was talking about with his coach Oz and Craig earlier on in the evening. They're just taking it one fight at a time, but he's hoping to turn over in the next sort of year. So it's going to be a great one to watch. I mean, he's already performing on big shows like Cage Warriors. So again, absolutely fantastic to have Craig performing on Raged. Same goes for Keiren Bennett as well, another Cage Warriors competitor. So I couldn't think of two better match opponents for a joint main event.
Yes, the big title fight, the amateur welterweight title, and both men. Oh, Keiren stepped forward as Craig went past there. And look at this. This is what we want to see, and the crowd rise to this. Gary, it's really starting to bubble now.
They're ready to go for each other before the bell's gone. I hope they can contain it until then.
Yes, we've got potentially 3 rounds for this title, but as you can see from these two young men, there's far more at stake than that. The title's the icing on the cake. For these two, it really is personal. And we've said before, we've seen bouts hyped. We've seen matches made where they try and build it. That's not needed here. This is genuine.
There's no need to build it. The fight sold itself. I mean, the guys have took it upon themselves, starting a little bit of a Facebook war. And here we are. This is what it's come down to. And how lucky we are to sit and watch this tonight on Raged.
You can hear the crowd's support for the local hero, Craig Rawlins. And the roof is raised here tonight. Nathan calls them together, the big co-main event of the evening. And look at Craig Rawlins, he has not moved, his eyes have not moved from Keiren Bennett.
He's stalking his prey, isn't he, at the moment? But look at Keiren, so confident as well.
Yes, this is the match everybody's been talking about, and it's just about to start. Potentially three 3-minute rounds for the title, and here they go. And Keiren leading with the long jab, and immediately Craig went to shoot in. Keiren nullifying that, and look at the sprawl from Keiren Bennett.
And you can certainly see the quality in the fighters as we progressed in the night. I mean, these guys, they know what they're doing. They both come from two great gyms. It's just a joy to watch.
Yes, and as I said, Craig went immediately for the takedown. Keiren turned, sprawled, and you learn so much about your opponent with your back to the cage here with this, and you can see Keiren looking to drop the right leg there of Craig, but again a good width to Craig there. And this is a real test of strength early, and Craig just dropping there, looking for the legs again, but a good sprawl defense. And already, Gary, both men have shown superb takedown defense.
Yeah, it's looking good. I mean, Craig's managed to take him down, but now we've got Keiren Bennett back on top at the moment, just controlling Rawlins at the moment, and unable to land these shots, and a lovely little escape, both back on the feet now.
And he needed that, because that was a good position. It was a good mount position for Keiren, but Craig was so quickly out of that. And a left hand ducked, and again Craig goes for the double leg. And once again Keiren looks to defend.
Craig's just behind him, gripping on. Going to be interesting to see what Craig's going to pull off at the moment.
And again, good movement from both men. Keiren turns it around once more. And you mentioned about the evenness of the match before, and we're seeing this perfectly now. Both men mirror images of each other in their takedown attempts, their escapes, their movement, and this is a real feeling out process from both, where they'll really gauge the strength of your opponent here.
It's a perfectly well matched fight that we've got here, and it's a bit stalemate at the moment. Oh, Craig's managed to get him off. Keiren just holding on to the fence. He had to let go, so now Craig's taken dominant position on top.
Yeah, there's not much between the two, and the judges will have to look very carefully at these moments. These are key here. And this will be important to see how much Craig can work from top position here. Because when they were both upright, both men had very good defences. And you can see Keiren again here, hand fighting with Craig as he looks to cement that position. And Craig taking his time. He's the man in the top position here. He's got plenty of time to work as well. And for the judges, Gary, these are key moments, because the first minute, you must say that both men were mirror images and neither scoring heavily.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a close one to call. It's only been really the last sort of 30 seconds that we've seen Craig start to take control of it. But we're coming to the end of the round, and Keiren's going to get a little bit of a breather. I'm sure he's not going to want to end up in that position again. I'd like to see a little bit more of this stood up.
Well, for me, that was key. The takedown, and then the manoeuvring for position and the control. So I'm thinking very close round, but if you were the judges, maybe going, yep, that last 30 seconds to a minute, Craig did enough there to take the round.
And that's all it needs. A judge just needs a tiny little bit of a difference in the fighters, and that could sway a fight. That's all a judge looks for. Up until that point, anyone's game though.
Yes, I agree. This is still very close, and a lot can happen, and it is on edge. Don't forget, this is just our opinion while we're watching. The judges are the ones that will make the official decision, but we both feel that maybe that last minute in favour of Craig Rawlins will have taken that first round, but still 2 more to go and everything to fight for. But what we did see is upright, both men in terms of strength, in terms of movement, in terms of ability, virtually equal.
Yeah, as I said before, perfectly well matched. I don't know what sort of tactics they're going to come out with, because neither really was able to get much of an upper hand bar the last sort of 30 seconds. So I'm not sure whether either are going to try and change tactics now.
Well, a change in tactics would be keeping it upright and at range for a while to see. And as we say that, Keiren looked for 2 kicks, and nice movement there. And the kick from Craig and a good left hand response. And as we said, what might happen, so it is a nice upright exchange there.
Yeah, it's great start upright. They're both closed in together now. A little bit of a tussle. A bit of a strength contest at the moment, but you could see Keiren, he knew he had to up his game, so he come out throwing some kicks of his own. So it's good to see. He's clearly had to listen to his coach, and they've said, look, it's not working down there, let's keep it up top.
By the same token, you can see now both times it's been Craig that's tried to initiate the takedown, and he got it this time through sheer persistence because he went for the double leg, didn't get hold, but he is in position where he wants to be now. And you feel of the two men, this is where Craig really fancies his chances in this bout.
Yeah, I mean, he's looking so strong and confident on the ground, and we can see that. I mean, he's getting his way with Keiren at the moment. Kieran's going to have to try his best to try and buck him, wrestle him off and get this stood back up, because that's where I feel Keiren was having more success early on.
Well, you can see with the posture there from Craig Rawlins, the strength. He's patient as well. He's happy to sit there, posturing up. Keiren doing well defensively, but all the time he's in this position, it's Craig's fight, and this is what Keiren will have to be wary of, because Craig, again, you see, using his head well, tucking in, pushing all the time, pushing his man to the fence here. And this is when he's in control. This is where he wanted to be, working away at him. And again, immediately goes back for the double leg, and it's going to be a big slam this time. That will score heavily. Craig, I was just about to say, I was a bit confused as why he got up again, but you could see why. Better position, double leg, and a huge slam.
A huge takedown. I mean, the judges are going to be looking at that one closely. And again, it just goes to show the strength that Craig's got. I mean, I know how hard he trains, and I think that's testament to the strength and conditioning that Craig's put into this training camp.
Also, as well, I admire his patience. He's not taken chances. He's not given Keiren any submission chances here while he's worked his man, got him to the cage, ground him down, and again, constant movement and good positioning again, forcing Keiren into complete defensive mode here across the 2 rounds. And that slam for me, and I'm sure for the judges, will just be the icing on the cake of a second round here.
Yeah, it's just opened up the scorecards, hasn't it? It's just made things a little bit more clear at the moment. It was very, very close, tidy fight up until that point. But now Craig's, in my eyes, just starting to dominate the fight now. He's taken over completely, and he's going to be happy with that. It's a big round. Again, just my opinion, but I would put Craig Rawlins two rounds up at this point.
Oh, I agree with you, Gary. I said, and what I like as well has been the patience. He's not given Keiren any opportunity, and you can see what his corner think as well. They know he's in control. And halfway through, it was the superb timing of the pickup and the slam. And that, for me, would have said to the judges, this is a big round. And with 1 to go, Keiren really has to keep it upright, because we did see elements of his strengths there with the legs and that left hook.
Yeah, I mean, you can see how confident Rawlins' team are. Alex Bruddin, his training partner, very confident with the arms up. And I mean, Keiren's looking calm. He's not panicking. He's been in these depths of water before, so I think he's going to have to look for that big knockout in this last round.
I agree with you, because I think if it goes to ground again, which I'm sure Craig will run, I'm sure Craig will go with the single or double again. Keiren has been nullified on the ground. He has been made to be in total defensive mode. Craig has sat comfortably in the pocket, and again, that's a confident corner. And I think if it goes to ground again in the third, Keiren's corner will have a lot to think and worry about. He's going to have to do something to keep it upright and look for a big finish.
I mean, that was just lovely to see at the end, for all of the action and the barred mouth in. It was great to see both guys shake and give a hug at the start of the fight, and it's just brilliant to see that. Great sportsmanship.
And a better start to the third from Keiren. Little left and right hooks and chopping at the legs of Craig as he's coming in. And this is what he's got to prevent the takedown. But Craig is so fast coming in. And here we go again. Here we go again. And the crowd respond.
Oh, beautiful takedown again. The crowd are going wild at the moment. Again, such a huge point-scoring move. The judges are going to be loving that one.
Well, the thing was, Keiren was just getting into his stride. Little chopping leg kicks to try and slow Craig down. Little punches. But what Craig has done each and every round is virtually ignore them and go for what he wants.
Hey, Craig is just outpowering him, outworking him. None of Kieran's plans are working at the moment. I think he's really got to try and get this back on the feet, where he had some small success early on in the fight. But at the moment, Craig's having his way at the moment.
Well, the thing we've seen from the first 2 rounds is once Craig gets you down, he's a master of keeping you there. He closes you down. Look at the shoulder pressure, just the simple shoulder pressure now on the face of Keiren Bennett. It's the subtle things he's doing as well.
Yeah, as I said before, you can see the quality in the fight. Just the head movement, the drop down with the shoulder. And the pure strength of Craig is, I think that's making the difference. His strength and conditioning is, I think, it's been paramount to this camp.
So Keiren Bennett under all sorts of pressure. He's looked good upright, but he's being schooled here on the ground by Craig Rawlins, who turns him again. The crowd responding to him. And Craig has really flattened Keiren out now as well. The strength factor, as you said, really telling on the ground.
If he can just get himself up and start reining in with those heavy punches. But we have to give Keiren credit. He's hanging on for dear life. He's not letting go. But Rawlins is still trying to break free and try and land those big punches.
Well, you say hanging on for dear life. It's almost literal, because every time that Craig Rawlins postures up, Keiren knows he's in trouble. But Craig has been patient as well. That's one of the things I've been so impressed with here. He's worked solidly and calmly, but patiently. And again, look, he knows he's got the positioning here. Superb. And Keiren forced to work defensively again, because every time he lets go, Craig just postures up ready for the ground and pound. And all the time that Keiren is doing this, there's no offence coming from him. Craig has been totally safe throughout these 3 rounds.
It's been a complete dominant performance by Craig in my eyes, and we're going to have to see something big and special from Keiren if he's going to cause an upset.
Well, I can't see it happening, because Craig hasn't given him the opportunities either. And again, it's the little movements, the subtlety. He's kept the pressure on, slowly but surely working him towards the cage again. And then as soon as he postures up, Keiren is forced to grab and hold. And for me, that's a masterclass in how to control and negate an opponent. And I am certain that Craig, this is his belt. And as you said, great sportsmanship, but this fight's only going one way.
Yeah, in my eyes, Craig has shown a total dominant performance, and I'm looking forward to see his next step in the career. It'd be great to see him fighting on Rage as a professional next time round.
So 2 excellent young men there, but we feel that the Raged amateur welterweight belt is going to go round Craig Rawlins' waist, and rightly so, after a dominant performance.
Craig